Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Someone wrote in and wanted to know why our loved ones in spirit just can't come in and talk to us, why it's not that easy. And I think I've explained it before, as far as being a medium, I just have a higher vibrational energy. And when I say that, I'm referring to the soul. It's just to a higher point because of daily prayer and meditation, life and my age, and the fact that this has been a generational thing in my family. And you've heard me say that anyone can do this work, but it depends on all of those things I just mentioned and how passionate you are about wanting to do it. Okay. Nobody really has the ability. It's not like you see on television. Nobody has ever had the ability or will have the ability to communicate with spirit like I can communicate, like we're communicating right now. And I always say to my students, they get sick of hearing me say this, but I say if the day comes that you're in meditation or you're doing a reading and you're able to communicate with spirit like we're communicating right now, check your pulse, because chances are you're over there. Because there is a veil between worlds. There is a veil between worlds. So as true evidential mediums, we have to form our own language with spirit. And a lot of mediums work differently. I mean, evidential mediums, spiritual evidential mediums, we seem to work the same. We keep God in the center of everything. We acknowledge this as a gift from God. And when you acknowledge it as a gift from God and keep God in the center, you become an evidential medium, because that's what it's all about. They bring you information in that without a doubt can be validated and people understand it, not stuff you can find on the internet. You've heard me say before, the charlatans out there pull up one obituary and they can do 10 readings off one obituary. There's a slew of information in obituaries. So when people ask me, is this one credible? Is that one credible? As far as mediums that you see on television or whatever, I'm a skeptic myself, so I don't know if they're real. They must be real to a point if they have their own show. I mean, they must have proven themselves time and time again, excuse me to do this, but I'm a skeptic. So I question myself. People have asked me who I really like out there that does this work as far as television, and I love John Edwards. I think he's wonderful. He has proven through the years to me to be a true spiritual evidential medium by the information that he brings in. I have seen him, and I know how he works. So, and I know that the information he brings in is evidential and things that you can't find, on the internet. You can track a phone number and pull up an obituary. Now they have Ancestry.com. I mean, that gives you a wealth of information. Of course, I feel it serves no purpose to tell you what a great-great-great-great-grandmother is saying to you or what she did. I mean, none of these things can be proven. So I'm all about proof. I'm all about the here and the now. But they don't have the ability to communicate with us like we can communicate with each other because of the veil between worlds. Remember that we're dealing with another dimension, so we have to form our own language with them. So they work with us symbolically. Symbolically, they'll hold up a pen. Maybe they held up a pen, just as an example, 10 years ago, and they said heart attack when they held the pen up. I wrote that down in my symbol journal. Okay, I would write down pen, heart attack. So if 5 years later, and I was doing a reading and I saw a pen, I would say, oh, your loved one passed from a heart attack. That's how strong my trust is with God and spirit. So I know that if they show me that pen, that's what it's going to mean. And that's the language that I form with them. So I have thousands of symbols with meanings written down that has been given to me by spirit. And sometimes I'll create my own symbols and I'll write it in my symbol journal. I'll write the article down and what it means symbolically. That's the way I work. But, it's not like it is on television. You can't just one day say, I want to see them. There's no such thing as a haunted house. So, you can't go to a haunted house or what they call a haunted house and expect to see a spirit that night unless they have special cameras or equipments or whatever. I would never go. I've been asked many times to go to some prison somewhere in Philadelphia. But you have to go at night, and I always say to them, why does spirit only come out at night? For me, they come out anytime. So, I'm not foolish, so I'm not going to go to a place that's dark in the middle of the night where they have special lighting and special cameras, and I don't know who they have hidden behind what wall. So I am a skeptic. I'm all about the here and now. And my sole purpose on this earth right now is to validate. I feel this is my final mission as far as work, And I just feel that it's a mission more than work, and I embrace it that way. And I just feel that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and to do it properly, the way that it would be pleasing to God. Since this is a gift from God, I have to do it in a way that's right, that's accurate, that's truthful and honest. So for me, evidential mediumship is the way to go. So, but I don't have the ability to communicate with them like I can communicate with you. I go into prayer and meditation. I get a lot of information that comes in before my readings, and then when people come to me for a reading, whether I do galleries or one-on-one or small groups, I'm a seer, I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I hear. So for me, when I do especially a large gallery, they'll all step in. I'll see them like light beings stepping in, and then as they get closer, they seem to form more clearly, and I can see what they look like, and description plays a big part of it. I'm a very organized medium, so for me, left side is mother's side, right side is father's side. So if I do a large gallery and there's 200 or 300 people, the spirits will line up, and some will go to the left side, some will go to the right side, which helps me know, oh, you have a mother in spirit, you have a father in spirit. So that's the way it works for me. So every medium, has to find their own way, but most spiritual evidential mediums work in a similar fashion. They may not organize like I do. I have a strong working relationship with guides from the other side. I know outstanding mediums who, know they have guides, but they don't know them. I even have a personal biography given by them to me, from them to me, from the world of spirit. So I know who they are. I have a close relationship with me, and they help me during my readings. People will say to me, why don't you get nervous when you do large galleries? I don't get nervous because I never feel I'm up there alone. I always know that I have God and spirit to help me. So if I'm having not a great day, or I have a little headache or something, people wait for a year or longer for a reading with me, so I'm certainly not going to call them that day. If I'm having an off day, or I got invited out for dinner or whatever, I'm never going to cancel an appointment unless it's an emergency and I really have to. But if I'm not feeling well, I'll still do it, because I know that God and spirit won't let me down, and the information will come in that these people need to hear. Okay, so that's the way it works. So, don't expect, if you plan on doing this work, that you're going to have the ability, like you see on television, to sit face to face with a medium and have a two-way conversation. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it's just not credible. It's not true. It doesn't work like that for anyone, and it never will. When we're completely in the spirit world, then we can have full communication. We're in the physical world right now, and that's the way it works. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. And as always, I leave you in God's love and light.